What up, bros? It's Bran back with another video, and today I want to talk to you guys about maximizing your damage and how to do more damage in New World in your travels through Eternum. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the Bane perk. Okay, make sure that you guys are gathering 4 different weapons, one for each monster type. If you're talking maximizing your damage, you're gonna want to see the Bane perk on each one of the weapons. So you'll have a corrupted Bane weapon, an ancient Bane weapon, a lost Bane weapon, and an angry earth Bane weapon. Now, the reason why you're going to want to have this Bane perk on each, and as I talk to you guys, I'm going to just be going around killing things, showing you the damage that we can do with proper preparation. That's a almost 11,000 crit right there. Alright, so Bane perk, guys. This perk is unmatched when it comes to PvE DPS in New World. It is a flat damage increase versus the certain monsters. 18% damage to corrupted. It's unbeatable, guys. This is the best PvE perk in the game. What else can I really say about it? It is insane. When you compare it to something like Enchanted, Enchanted is like, what, plus 10% damage on only your light and heavy attacks. Compare that to Corrupted Bane is 18% damage increase to everything, including abilities. Crazy, crazy, crazy amount of damage on the Bane, guys. Can't really say it much more about it. You're going to want 4 of them, at least. Ancient, Corrupted, Lost, and Angry Earth. And potentially, in the future, maybe Beast Bane might be worth something if they do something with beasts later on in the future. But as I talk to you guys, I'm just going to run around, show you the amount of damage that we can do when we're properly prepared, okay? The second thing I want to talk to you guys about is the elemental gems. Now, get to know the monster types and what weaknesses they have. Each one of the monsters has a critical weakness, and I can list them out for you guys here. The Corrupted are critically weak to Arcane. The Ancients are critically weak to Lightning. The Angry Earth are critically weak to Fire. And the Lost are critically weak to Nature. I just used 1 heavy attack and 1 ability, and this elite was almost dead. I just killed an elite level 63 creature in about 5 seconds. The elemental gems, they essentially read when you're using the appropriate one versus the appropriate monster. So for this, Arcane versus Corrupted, they read plus 15% damage versus Corrupted. Okay, because it splits your damage in half. Half of your damage is now doing Arcane damage, and Arcane damage does 30% increased damage to Corrupted. So what that does to our total amount of damage we are doing is a 15% damage increase. Now, if you have 150 int, the 150 int perk that increases your elemental damage, that is going to change that from a 15% damage increase to a 22.5% damage increase when using the elemental weapons. So obviously a massive amount of damage coming from those elemental gems. And again, it's going to be Arcane for Corrupted, Lightning for the Ancients, Angry Earth is going to be Fire, and Lost is going to be Nature. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is combat trophies. Combat trophies are super important as well because they are just free stats that you have sitting in your house. So you're going to want to progress your way towards 3 houses to do the most damage you can do, right? It's just free stats. Look, let's check out my house in Cutlass. I have my loot luck trophy up, and then I have each one of my combat trophies up. Each one of these, I believe they go 6, 8, 10% damage increase. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that is correct though. So these ones are all 8% damage increase, and we can have 3 of them total because we can have 3 houses. So that's 8. For me, for these basic ones, it's 8, 16, 24% damage increase. Now, if I had all majors in all of my trophies, it would be 30% damage increase. So I have another 6% damage to gain for each monster type from now until I have all of the majors. That's just 6% damage I'm missing, just because I don't have the trophies. So that is why the trophies are valuable. That's why we're going to want to get those trophies. Super important. It's just free damage, free stats just sitting for us. Which brings me to the next topic. Consumables. How do we prepare ourselves to do the most amount of damage that we can do? Well, there are different consumables in the game that work similarly to the Banes that we just talked about. There are coatings for each monster type. Corrupted coating, lost coating, Angry Earth coating, ancient coating. These are going to do flat DPS increases versus those monster types when equipped to your weapon. So you basically move it to your action bar and you apply it to your weapon, and for 20 minutes with the infused coating, you're going to do an increased amount of damage to the targets. The next thing I want to talk about is honing stones. Honing stones are just a flat weapon damage increase. And as far as I know, these stack with your weapon, so I always apply both coating and honing stone. Great, great, great. Just a flat damage increase. The tooltip for it is bugged. I believe it's like a 4, 5, 6, 7% damage increase with the most powerful honing stones. Currently, I cannot afford to be using the highest tier honing stone, so I grab the common honing stone. It's the most bang for your buck on my server currently. And the last consumable I want to talk to you guys about is going to be your stat food. This is just free stats. Well, it's obviously not free. You're purchasing them for coin, but there's no reason not to have these applied to yourself when you are trying to do the most damage you can do in New World. 40 increased dexterity is a great amount of damage increase, and I will be always using it when I'm trying to do the most damage that I can do. Now, let's talk about positioning and memorizing boss movement patterns. Another very important tactic. Positioning, of course, you're going to, if you're a melee, you're going to want to position yourself behind the boss, get that backstab damage. For range, you're going to want to position yourself wherever is most advantageous for the given fight. And for the memorizing boss movement patterns, that's going to be for everyone. Okay, you might hear that and think, oh, that's only for the bows and the muskets that need to hit headshots. They need to memorize how the boss jerks its head back and forth or moves while doing a certain animation. No, it's actually for everyone, because every movement matters, every second matters as far as the total amount of damage you're doing. If you position yourself in a way, say the boss is on this rock here, and you know it's about to do a mechanic, and when it does that mechanic, it goes over to there where that archer is. Well, obviously you want to be positioned on this side of the boss, because you know it's going all the way over there, so now it's not going to travel through you. So instead, you would position and be meleeing the boss from here, so that when it starts traveling over to the archer, you can travel with it. Hit it, roll, hit it, roll, hit it, roll, and now we're maximizing our damage. Instead of getting left behind in the dirt, doing no damage over there while it travels over to the archer, right? Super important, guys. That is going to be the difference between the person who did the most damage for a certain boss fight in the world and you finishing, like, you know, number 100,000th in the world for a given boss's total damage. There's going to be a certain point in this game where damage and DPS is tracked. It's an MMO at the end of the day, and people love to do that. So if that's something you enjoy doing, trying to push for top ranks on damage on boss, these are all important tactics to keep in mind. So let's just really quickly review everything we talked about, so that you can maximize your damage versus every single monster type in the game, guys. So we want the Bane perk on all of our weapons. We're going to want 4 different weapons: Corrupted Bane, Ancient Bane, Lost Bane, Angry Earth Bane. And we're going to equip elemental gems into each one of those because it gives us the most amount of damage. We're going to equip Arcane Gem into the Corrupted. We're going to equip Angry Earth Bane with the Fire. We're going to equip Lightning with the Ancients. And we're going to equip Nature with the Lost Bane. And we're going to always bring consumables. We're going to be prepared with coatings for each monster type, honing stones, stat foods to increase our damage, and defensively we can prepare ourselves with tinctures and blight tinctures. If we bring the infused ones and we pre-pop those before a fight, we're not having to use them mid-fight, which is a DPS increase, right? Not having to use them during the fight. Now, the next things we talked about were trophies. Making sure we have not only having 3 houses, but having combat trophies for each of the monster types up in every single one of those houses. Super important, that is just free stats, free damage. And the last thing is positioning and memorizing boss movement patterns. Super important for not only melee players, but for aim weapons as well. But that's going to be it for the video for you guys today. I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you're able to increase the damage that you are doing because of something that you learned from this video. Let me know down in the comments if this video did help you and if you learned something. I would really appreciate that. And as always, if you enjoy my content, if you want to see more from me, make sure you hit that like bell and subscribe. And go ahead and follow me over at twitch.tv/brandtvx, where I stream almost every day. Peace, guys. Have a great day.